Okay guys, now we have true, false, not given. And then in the end we'll go to 27 to 32. True, false, not given. You are already familiar. Within the statement, first we'll find clue word, then we'll find a word or a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is true, false or not given. Question number 33. In the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded. Underline forthcoming games. Now listen. Encircle the word all. Encircle the word all. What do they say? All the participants will be blindfolded. Now look here. If all the participants will be blindfolded, they use the word all, 10 participants will be blindfolded. Blindfolded means aankhon pe patti bandi hogi, right? So if they will be blindfolded, answer is true. If half will be blindfolded, half will not be blindfolded, or majority of them will be blindfolded, 9 out of 10 will be blindfolded, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether all or some or few, then the answer is not given. Now listen, it's true, false, not given. Questions, answers are in order, so you should start your search from paragraph A. Next month, a chess player named Temur will take on nearly 50 opponents at once. How many opponents? Okay, let's read carefully. But that is not the hard part. While his challengers will play the games as normal, Gary himself will be... Now, other 50 players, will they be blindfolded? No, they will play as normal. Only Gary will be blindfolded. So the correct answer, in the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded? No. Only Gary will be blindfolded and others will not be blindfolded. Answer is false. See that you now understand the logic of false, why it is false. Once you understand why it is false, then it will become easier for you. And over here, they use the word all. And by the way, I have seen the word all in many true, false, not given. Whenever they use the word all, you have to just check this thing only. Question number 34. Gary has won competition in base jumping. Now listen, base jumping is your clue word. If he won competition, answer is true. If he participated but he lost, answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether he won or he lost, then it is not given. So Gary has won competition in base jumping. It's the same paragraph. Got it? Okay, I'm reading it from 4th line. 28-year-old already stands. Found it? Please follow me, everyone. थोड़ा सा रह गया है, हिम्मत करें. 4th line. 28-year-old already stands out in the rare field word of blindfold chest. He has a fondness for bright clothes and unusual hairstyles, and he gets his kicks from adventure sport of base jumping. That's it. He has already proved himself a strong chess player. Now, did they mention anything that Gary has won a competition in base jumping? No, they only use this thing. He gets his kicks from the adventure sports of base jumping. But he won, he lost. There is no information on that. That is why answer is false. थैंक यू. थोड़ा सा एंजॉय किया, आपको झटका दिया हल्का सा. ओके, ये जो सोए हुए थे वो भी उठ गए. ओह, नॉट गिवन. इट इज नॉट गिवन. वेल डन. हाँ, गेट इज किक. किक का नहीं पता सलमान खान ने क्या बोला था, कौन सी मूवी में बोला था कि किक मिल जाए बस. किक मूवी का नाम भी किक था. किक किसे कहते हैं, किसे कहते हैं किक को? मोटिवेशन मिल जानी, शुरू में कोई रीजन मिल जानी, किक मिल जाए. ठीक है. अब जब एक दोस्त थे, उनकी शादी होनी थी ना, तो मंगनी नहीं हो रही थी. मंगनी हुई तो उनको किक मिल गई. उसके बाद उन्होंने 3 कमेटियां डाली और जब तीसरी कमेटी निकली तो उनकी शादी हो गई. नहीं, इनका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है उससे. तीसरी निकल आई थी ना, और जहां जहां कमेटी डाली उनको कहा पहली मैं लेनी, और रीजन भी बताया. ठीक है. और अब कहता है कि काश वो कमेटियां ना निकली होती, ना ही मुझे मिलती तो अच्छा था, क्योंकि फिर उसके बाद कमेटी टूट जाती है. हाँ, फिर जो है ना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. अच्छा जी, लेट्स गो ऑन. 34, answer is not given. 35, UCLA is the first. Wow, this word first will decide. हो गया ना आसान. UCLA is first university to carry out research into blindfold chess players. Now look here. If UCLA is first university which is going to do that, answer is true. If it has already been done before, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether the university is smile first, second or third, then the answer is not given. So UCLA. Excellent. Paragraph B. UCLA. I'm reading it from the middle. Researchers at the University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results, right? And if you read before that, in the hope of understanding, I'm reading second line, paragraph B, second line. In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers at University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results. The first results, listen. The ability to play a game of chess with your eyes closed is not a far reach for most accomplished players, said Jess Risman, who runs a memory lab at UCLA. But the thing that's so remarkable about Timur and few other individuals is the number of games they can keep active at once. To me, it is simply astonishing. Now come back. UCLA is the first university to carry out research. The word first. They did not mention whether that university is the first one. For first, they usually use the word groundbreaking research. Groundbreaking research means first university or first research. So the word first is not given anywhere. That is why the answer is not given. Very good. And have you noticed one thing? Two not given. You know, two not given and then one false. So the last one should be. First results does not mean the first university to carry out research. If we do a research and we do 5 experiments, the result of first experiment will called first results, second results, third results. But the research that was first, second, third, fourth, they didn't mention anything about that, okay? All right, so 36 is और दो नॉट गिवन हो गए, उन सारे नॉट गिवन कर दियो. वाई नॉट गिवन? मनु लभ्या ही नहीं. हाँ, जो मुझे नहीं मिलेगा वो नॉट गिवन, जिसको मैं चाहूंगा वो ट्रू, जो मुझे पसंद नहीं आएगा वो फॉल्स. एग्जैक्टली, अपना ही दुनिया बना लें. ओके, गुड चेस प्लेयर्स आर लाइकली टू बी एबल टू प्ले ब्लाइंड फोल्ड चेस. Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means they can play. Good chess players can play chess blindfolded. Now let's go back. Paragraph E for elephant. Very good. Accomplished means good. We use the word accomplished cricketers, accomplished footballer. So for accomplished, they use the word good chess players. Paragraph E for elephant. All of you. Accomplished players can develop the skill of playing blind even without realizing it. So what do they say? Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means can develop the skill. Likely to be able to play blindfold chess, can develop a skill of playing blind even without realizing it. Answer is true. Very good. Speaking? बड़े बड़े शाहकार हैं. स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट ही भूल गया शहजादा. कहता मुझे याद ही नहीं कि मेरा स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट था. चलें स्टार्ट करें जी. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट क्वेश्चंस 27 to 32. रीडिंग पैसेज 3 हैज 8 पैराग्राफ्स. आमतौर पे 8 ही होते हैं, 6 to 8. Which paragraph contains the following information? Now see that at this stage we are familiar with the passage. We have read different paragraphs of the passage, so these questions are going to be somewhat easier for us. Question number 27. A reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Earlier examples means in the past there was blindfold chess. Reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Look for the word 13th century. 1947. Earlier examples mean examples in the past. Now listen and keep in mind, whenever they use the word earlier, look for past times. Look for past tense. Look for past years. So what are the past years mentioned here? 13th century, 1947. I'm reading paragraph D. Please follow me. To the uninitiated, blindfold chess seems to call for superhuman skill, but displays of the feat go back centuries. The first recorded game means blindfold chess. First recorded game in Europe was played in 13th century Florence. In 1947, the Argentinian Grandmaster Miguel played 45 simultaneous games in the mid and all that. So paragraph D contains reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Got it? Whenever they use the word earlier, look for past time. Question number 28. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. They tell us in a paragraph, and this paragraph is going to be somewhere where they give us the information, one person is blindfolded and this and that. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D, E. What blindfold chess involves. An outline of what blindfold chess involves. Okay, the correct answer is paragraph E, right? And it is given in the third line. Please follow third line. From this, regular players develop a memory for the pattern, the pieces make, the defenses and attacks. You recreate in your mind, said Gary's. A lot of players are capable of doing it. So what does it involve? Blindfold chess. They mention the nature of the game is to run through possible moves in the mind to see how they play out. From this, regular players develop a memory for the patterns of pieces. It involves this. The defenses, second thing. And the third is attacks. So for 28, question is an outline. Now what is the outline? Outline is patterns of pieces make, the defenses and attacks. So for question number 28, outline of what blindfold chess involves, that is E. Okay, 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. A claim in one paragraph where they talk about other stuff also, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. That he can only play chess. That blindfold, he cannot play any other game. He can only play chess, blindfold chess. A claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Go to paragraph FGH. 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 All right, paragraph F, please come to fifth line. Said wristman, found it? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line in the middle. Said wristman, mil gaya? Now let's read after that. We didn't find anything other than playing chess that he seems to be supremely gifted at. Okay? Now what is this sentence? We didn't find anything other than playing chess. Anything other means any other game that he seems to be supremely gifted at. So 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Got it? See that? One sentence and one sentence matched. Question number 30. Why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. A paragraph where they mention why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. Go to paragraph B, C, D. Paragraph B, C, D. Interest of scientists. They use the word in the first line. Paragraph B. But Gary's prowess has drawn interest from beyond the chess playing community. Now what is beyond the chess playing community? In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers. Got it? Now come back to question number 30. Why Garif's skill is of interest of scientists. So for scientists they use the word researchers. Question number 31. An outline. Outline means list. An outline of Garif's priorities. Now what does he prefer? What are his priorities? Outline of that. Go to paragraph FGH. Outline of his priorities. H. For the word record attempt. Please come to paragraph H. For the word record attempt, Garif's hopes to play. Now, the list of his priority. What is that? Hopes to play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Okay, now what is next? He will need to win 80% to claim the title. So, list of his priorities is he will play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours, and then he will need to win 80% of the claim, the title, and then he says, I don't worry too much about winning percentage. Yeah, that's it. So, question number 31, an outline of Garif's priorities. And what are they? Garif's hopes to play. Hopes to play means outline of his priorities. 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Question number 32, a reason why the last part of a game may be difficult. In one paragraph, they will give us the reason the last part of the game may be difficult. A reason. Paragraph E. Okay, come to paragraph E. And where is that reason? Okay, paragraph E, and please come to second page. There they use the word end of game. That's what they used, a reason why the last part. Last part means end. So paragraph E, second page, and please come to third sentence. But the ends of games, found it? Okay, now what are the reasons? They mention, but the ends of games are taxing too, as exhaustion sets in. What is the reason? Exhaustion sets in. When Garif is tired, another reason he is tired. His recall can get patchy. His recall memory gets patchy. He sometimes makes moves based on only a fragmented memory of the pieces. So these are the reasons why last part means end of the game, may be difficult. Question number 32, correct answer is E. 27, answer is D for doctor. 28, E for elephant. 29, F for fire. 30, B for boy. 31, H for house. And 32, E for electronic. That's it. All right, let's go on. Reading passage 3. Timur Gariev, blindfold chess champion. Wow. Timur Gariev, blindfold means who blindfolds his eyes and he plays chess. Okay? Yeah, I think his name is there in Guinness Book of World Record as well. Timur Gariev, blindfold chess champion. You know chess is a game. This person is a champion of chess, and the specialty is he plays chess without looking at that. He's blindfolded. Blindfold means aankhon pe patti bande hona. He's blindfolded and he plays chess. Right? Okay. That's interesting. You can Google him, but you don't have time. Again, passage is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What does that mean? That means Siapa. And that Siapa can be list of headings or which paragraph contains the following information. So what do we have? Which paragraph contains the following information? How many questions? 6 questions. And passage 3. And usually students maximum have 20 minutes for passage 3 because of poor time management. What do? They waste all their time on passage 1. According to me, passage 1 should not take more than 15 minutes. Because in passage 1, type A questions are given. Passage 2 should take around 20 minutes. And passage 3 should take around 25 minutes. Okay? But anyways, so we will do questions 27 to 32 first. No, we'll do them last. right? Then questions 33 to 36, they are true, false, not given. How many questions? 4. Type A. Questions and answers are in order. And then we have 37 to 40. Complete the summary below. So 4 questions there. I would advise you to start from summary completion, then come to true, false, not given, and at the end, if you find time, good, otherwise tukas. Okay, because you don't leave any blank, so you just have to do the tukas. And this is the time when they have final announcements, when they announce candidates, make sure you transfer your answers to the answer sheets. Invigilators come and they say, answer transfer karo, answer your transfers to the answer sheet, because this is their responsibility. And if you fail to transfer the answers, you will get 1 band. Yeah, they will not check your question booklet. This is question booklet you're holding. In actual exam, they will not check the question booklet. They will only check the answer sheet. If in 1 hour, no answer is written on answer sheet, you will get 1 band. 1 band means non-user of English. Iska English se koi rishta nahi hai. Anyways, let's start. Questions 37 to 40. Choose one word only from the passage. How the research was carried out. Okay? Question number 37. The researchers started by testing Gary's, or whatever his name is. Has anybody heard his name? Gary. Okay, we call him Gary. Let's call him Gary. Okay, no problem. The researchers started by testing Gary's dash. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash. Now let's see researchers. Look for the word researchers and how they started. Researchers. Absolutely fine. For researchers, they use the word scientists. This is how they play. And the good thing is, you will find all the answers in order in paragraph F and paragraph G. So, the scientist first had Gary's performance, some standard memory test. Now listen, the scientist first. So what did they do first? They had some standard memory tests. Now come back. Come back. Now we have 3 words. 3 words. Standard memory tests. Which word will be the answer? Exactly, because for test they use the word testing Gary's memory. You cannot write testing Gary's standard. That will be wrong. Correct answer is memory. And those who write standard, they will be double confident. Standard is the right answer. I have written here. Remember one thing, wrong answer will not give any sense. Logically, grammatically, ethically, wrong answer will never give any sense. So the first correct answer is 37. And for example, now this is linked. In one sentence, if there are 2 blanks, it means answer is very close. Right? For example, he was required. What do they mean by he? Gary, absolutely. He was required to recall a string of dash in order. A string of dash in order. Come back. Memory test. These assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Now come back. What will be the right answer? He was required. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash in order and also in reverse order. So something in order and in reverse order. So let's see. They say here, these assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. One classic test measures how many numbers as a person can repeat both forward and backwards. Absolutely. So what was that? Numbers in order and also in reverse order. What is the word for in order and in reverse order? Forward and backward. Now for example, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, blah, 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 like that. So answer is numbers. And how did you find this answer? Because they mentioned in order and also in reverse order. Question number 39. Although his performance was normal, scans showed an unusual amount of dash within the areas of Gary's brain. Unusual amount of dash. Unusual amount. Focus that. unusual amount of dash. Let's read on. I'm reading it from paragraph F, and just let's read from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th line. But next came, found it? But next came the brain scans, because they use the word scan. Next came the brain scan. With Gary lying down in the machine, Risman looked at how well connected the various regions of the chess player brains were. Though, just a second, that's not the answer. Though the results are tentative and yet unpublished, the scans found much greater than average communication. And what does that mean? That means unusual amount of. Now see the link. Unusual amount of, much greater than average. Unusual amount of, much greater than average. They are synonyms. They are rewording. So answer is communication. Okay? All good? Yeah. Let's go on. The next one. In addition, the scans raised the possibility of unusual strength in the parts of his brain that deal with dash input. Underline the word input. Now listen, answer is the part of a brain which deals with a type of input. Type of input. Paragraph G. Everyone please come to paragraph G. It was not the only hint of something special in Gary's brain. The scans also suggest Gary's visual network is more highly connected to other brain parts than usual. Initial results suggest that the areas of his brain that process visual images, such as chessboard, may have stronger links to other brain. Now, visual images such as chessboards may have stronger links to other brain regions and so be more powerful than normal. So what is the input? Visual, absolutely. Visual network is more connected and then stronger the links of other brain's regions such as chessboard. So images of chessboard, they are visual inputs. Unusual strength in the parts of the brain that deal with. Parts of the brain that deal with. What is the word for that? Yeah, they use the word areas of his brain. For parts of brain, what is the word? Third line. Third line. Areas of his brain that process. That process means areas of the brain that deal with. Process means deal with. Process visual images. So the correct answer is visual. All right. Reading passage 3, we've got list of headings, but first of all, you will read the title of the passage. What's the purpose of gaining knowledge? What's the title? What's the purpose of? It means they will talk to us about the purpose of gaining knowledge. Why do we gain knowledge? What's the purpose of that? So the whole passage is about it. Now, please come to list of headings. Type A or type B? If it is A, section A, first heading. Section B, second heading. Section C, third heading, and all that. So listen, for list of headings, how many questions do we have? 6 questions. These 6 questions will take all your time. You have only 20 minutes maximum when you reach here. Maximum 20. And some students, they have only 10 to 15 minutes for part 3. They are so much engaged in part 1 and part 2 that they find no time. So you need to manage your time. And how can you manage your time? If you focus part 1 and if you finish part 1 in 15 minutes, which you can do, then you will have plenty of time for part 2 and part 3. But if you waste all your time in part 1, and how will you waste your time? By excessive reading. How will you waste your time? By not understanding the question. So if you are doing it systematically, part 1 can be comfortably done in 15 minutes. And for part 2, you can have 20 minutes and the rest of the time for part 3. Okay? Now, list of headings. What do you have to do? For this, you need skim reading. Which reading? Skim reading. And what is skim reading? You read the paragraph. Now, there is one paragraph which you have to skim, and then you have to decide which heading. Now, let's understand what is the heading. Heading covers the basic theme of one paragraph. But unfortunately, sometimes some headings, they do not cover the theme of the paragraph. They only cover one sentence in the paragraph. Actually, what should happen if they have given the heading? So the heading should cover all the theme of the paragraph. But sometimes there is only one sentence. Now, whenever they write paragraphs, the writers, in the first sentence, they present the main idea. In that case, there are chances that you will find the clue of list of headings in the first sentence. But this is not the case all the time. Secondly, what happens? They start with some general comment, and then in the middle of the paragraph, they introduce the topic. So in that case, the middle sentence will tell you which heading is appropriate for that. And I have read some passages where they start with general discussion. At the end of the paragraph, there is the conclusion of the discussion. And that conclusion tells you what is the heading. Do you understand? So there are three important points. First sentence, somewhere in, and you should see. I mean, when you read the first sentence, if you have a feeling that, yeah, they have started with the main topic, and now they are going to elaborate on that, then you can go to headings and match the headings. If you don't feel anything like that, then read on and reach in the middle and then the end. And one more thing, warning. If you read more and more and more, it is going to become more confusing for you. One thing. Second, if you find a paragraph which is the shortest one, can you see here? Paragraph C is long, B is fine, A is fine, even D is the shortest paragraph. So start with the shortest paragraph and then go on to other paragraphs, right? This is another technique. Why? Because when you do, for example, in paragraph D, how many lines? 4 lines only. So you can do it easily, okay? Now, one more thing. The most important part, one is skimming and reading the paragraph. Second important part is interpreting the heading. Those who interpret the heading, and by the way, first you have to read the headings. You will do this question type at the end of that section. Because otherwise, what type of questions do we have? Can you see questions 33 to 36? They are summary completion. Questions and answers are in order. Questions 37 to 40, what are they? Yes, no, not given. Questions and answers are in order. So first you will do these questions so that you secure at least 7-8 questions, and then you can go to list of headings, because list of heading will take you to all the passage. Full passage, because there are questions. What are the questions? 27 to 32, section A to section F. So that will take you to all the passage. So do it at the end. When you do it at the end, you'll be familiar with the passage. It's going to be easier. One more thing. Do it at the end, but read the headings first. Read the headings with imagination. I tell you how. What's the topic of the title? What's the purpose of gaining knowledge? Please come to list of headings. Courses that require a high level of commitment. Underline high level of commitment. And imagine courses, high level of commitment means you have to do it every day, regularly, and all that. Heading number 2. And when you read list of headings, don't read articles. And, the, some. In our language, they don't mean anything, right? So heading number 2, course title with 2 meanings. In one paragraph, they will tell us that some people may understand from this course title this thing, and others may understand another thing. Course title with 2 meanings. And imagine a course title with 2 meanings. Equal importance of 2 key issues. They will describe 2 key issues. 2 issues. First of all, secondly, or firstly, another one, and issues, 2 problems. Heading number 4. Applying a theory in an unexpected context. Unexpected means what you don't expect. Applying a theory, application of a theory in an unexpected context. Financial benefits of studying, very simple, they will talk about money. In a paragraph, they will talk about money, finance, you can earn money, thousands, dollars, this and that. A surprising course title. He will talk about a course title and he will say it is very strange. Or even when you read the course title, you will feel this is a strange title. Course title means a university course or a course which they offer. Any course like, educational course and all that. Different names of different outcomes. Now they will say the first outcome which is called this, another outcome. So names of outcomes. Outcome means the end result, the result of something. Possibility of attracting the wrong kind of student. Like you say, the name of this course is so different that the students who want to join this thing, they can also be attracted. Right? So, possibility of attracting the wrong kind of student. Okay, fine. Now, we actually start with it. Don't worry. Otherwise, you should start with other questions. We'll do them later. Now we go on to paragraph A. And one more thing. How many questions do we have? 6. And how many headings? 8. What does that mean? 2 trap headings. And they make trap headings so beautifully that you will say this heading should go with every statement. Okay? So if you have a feeling with a heading that it should go with every statement, that is usually a trap heading. Okay? Now, please come to paragraph A. I would found an institution where any person can find instruction in any subject. Okay, it's talking about this. Cornell University, skip it. When you skim, you skip. Understand skip? You read few words, then you skip to the next sentence. You read few words. If you think it's not about the topic or the main thing, then you skip. Now please come to this third line. Different university also in USA where I currently teach philosophy. A student can prepare for a career in the resort management, engineering, interior design, accounting, music, law, but what would the founders of these two institutions have thought of a course called Arson for Profit? I kid you not. There is a name of the course, Arson for Profit, and he says, I kid you not. I kid you not, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा. कोर्स का नाम है Arson for Profit. A surprising course title. And what is the word for surprising? I kid you not. I kid you not. This is the title for a course, Arson for Profit. Got it? Now have you noticed this time it's the third last sentence where they gave this idea. So those who say for list of headings, read the first sentence, never listen to that. That's not the first sentence. Sometimes it's the last one. Sometimes it's a middle one. Sometimes second last one. And all that. Okay. Now, let's go on. We've got paragraph B. Let's skim read it. Naturally, the course is intended for prospective arson investigators who can learn all the tricks of trade. Okay, let's go on. Next line. Discovering who did it and establishing a chain of evidence for effective prosecution in a court of law. But wouldn't this also be the perfect course? Oh, listen. See, first they said this course is intended for prospective arson investigators. And now they say, but wouldn't this also be a perfect course for prospective arsonists to sign up for? So one type of people. And then he says, wouldn't this also be the perfect course for another type of people? So it means the title of the course is confusing. It may attract two type of people. Now go back and see which heading is appropriate for that. Heading number 2 is course title with two meanings. They did not talk about the meaning of the course title. They talked about the type of people who can be attracted to this course. Heading number 8, possibility of attracting the Wrong kind of people. Come back. What is the word for wrong kind of people? But wouldn't this also be the perfect course for prospective arsonists? So prospective arsonist is the wrong type of people. The title of the course is Arson for Profit. Arson is related to sports. I think it's just like Tir Kaman or any other game like that. Let's go on. We've got paragraph C. And one more thing, you will write the list of heading in Roman numbers, right? Roman numbers. Paragraph C. I realized this anew when I was invited to speak before the class. Second sentence, the regular instructor is a colleague who appreciates the kind of ethic perspective I can bring as a philosopher. There are endless ways I could have approached this assignment, but I took my cue from the title of the course, Principles of Marketing. It made me think to ask the students, is marketing principled? After all, a subject matter can have principles in the sense of being confined, having rules. So he's talking about confusing title like Principles of Marketing. Is marketing principled? Let's see if we find anything. Heading number 3, equal importance. 2, a course title with 2 meanings. Absolutely. Principles of marketing. It made me think to ask students, is marketing principled? After all, subject matter can have principles in the sense of being confined, having rules and all that. So principles of marketing, it means, is marketing principled? So there are actually course title with 2 different meanings. And if you read on, you will find those 2 meanings as well. Now, paragraph D, I give you 20 seconds to read it on your own. Come on, read it on your own. Read it? Yes. He says yes. Why for? He is applying a theory in an unexpected context. And what is that unexpected context? Is it obvious? I made the suggestion which may sound downright crazy in light of the evidence that perhaps marketing is by definition principled. My inspiration for this judgment is the philosopher. Now he's talking about marketing, but he's using the philosopher, Immanuel Kant, who argued that any body of knowledge consists of an end or purpose and a means. So come back. Heading number 4, applying a theory in an unexpected context. Context is marketing and he's applying the theory of a philosopher. Understand? Philosopher's theory in marketing. So this is unexpected way he's doing. Now please come to paragraph E. Let us apply both the terms means and end to marketing. So there are 2 meanings, means and there are 2 terms, both means, 2 terms, means and end to marketing. Let's see. Means and end, what are they? 2? Yes, heading number 7 is different names of different outcomes. No. Heading number 3 is equal importance of 2 key areas. Okay. Heading number 2. Heading number 2 is a course title with 2 meanings. No, it isn't that. Heading number 3, equal importance of 2 key areas. Now come back. What are those 2 key areas? Listen, for key area, they have used the word terms. Number 1. Number 2, these terms are given in brackets. Can you see? And what are those terms? One term is means, and one is end. So for term, he used the word key areas. So for question number 31, section E, heading number 3 is the right answer. Okay guys, now we've got paragraph F. Please come to that. Now, paragraph F. I just give you half minute to skim. Please do it on your own. Skim through it. Focus paragraph F. Huh? Just a second. Just skim it first, okay? Skim the paragraph and then we'll see what the heading is. Just focus the word. They can use the same knowledge of means to achieve a much less noble end. Heading number 7, excellent. Different names of different outcomes. Now, where do they use the word outcomes? Yeah, they use the word to achieve a dash. To achieve means outcome of dash. And if you come towards the end, third last line, we have another term for it, fraud. Kent gives the example of a doctor and a poisoner who use the identical knowledge to achieve their divergent ends. We would say that one is practicing medicine and the other is murder. So what is that? Heading number 7, different names of different outcomes. Okay, this passage is really dry. Let's go on. Questions 33 to 36. Please come here. This is going to be simple now. The Arson for Profit course. This is a university course intended for students who are undergraduates and who are studying dash. Now let's go back. Undergraduates, paragraph, first paragraph. Undergraduates and who are studying. Please come to paragraph A, second last line. Any undergraduates who have met the academic requirement can sign up for the course in our program in fire science. So this is a university course intended for students who are undergraduates and who are studying fire science. All right, let's just go on. Question number 34. The expectation is that they will become, they means students. Students will become dash specializing in arson. They will become dash specializing in arson. Paragraph B. Naturally, the course is intended for prospective arson investigators. So they will become investigators. And it's one word only, no more than 2 words. But you cannot write arson. Yes, you may write arson investigators as well. Will become arson investigators. Yes, they have written specializing in arson. So that's why you cannot write arson investigators. Answer is only investigators. The course will help them to detect cases of arson and find dash of criminal intent. Find dash of criminal intent. Same paragraph, read on. Find. For find they use the word establish. Absolutely. So you read on the tricks of the trade for detecting whether a fire was deliberately set, discovering who did it, and establishing a chain of evidence. Establishing, for that the word is find. evidence of criminal intent leading to successful dash in courts. Courts. Leading to successful, exactly, in court of law. And for successful, the word is effective prosecution in a court of law. So the answer is prosecution. Now, how many questions are these? 4. And how many lines have you read? 5, 6 lines. So that is why I prefer this one. If you start with list of headings, it will eat all your time and then you will not have time for such simple questions, okay? All right, thank you. All right, now we've got questions 37 to 40. It is difficult to attract students onto courses that do not focus on a career. Now listen, yes, no not given and true, false not given, they are cousins. There is a warning. The warning is if you write yes, no for true, false and true, false for yes, no, your answers will be considered wrong. So you should be very clear. If it is yes, no, write yes and no. Because those markers, they don't have this option. They see yes and you've written true, wrong answer. They see no, you've written false, wrong answer. Right? I mean, they just match and, I mean, they're like robots. They don't have their own brain. What they see on the answer key, tick, right answer, wrong. You see on your answer sheet, they've got to color. Color right, color wrong and all that. Okay, thank you. Good. So, question number 37. It is difficult to attract students onto courses that do not focus on a career. Just see courses, career and all that stuff. First paragraph, they use the word career. A student can prepare for a career in resort management, engineering, interior design, accounting, music, law enforcement, you name it. But what would the founders of these courses? Have they mentioned that it is difficult to attract the students onto courses that do not focus on a career? No. The word career is there. And one more thing. For not given also, you've got to read 1 or 2 sentences. I mean, you need to read the relevant information. Now, over here, the clue word is career. You go back and see where they talk about career. And it is also possible that they talk about career in 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. So you need to see wherever the word career is. If they say it is difficult to attract students onto the courses that do not focus on career, if they say anything about it, then you got to see true, false. And if they don't mention anything, like over here, what is written? They've written simply, a student can prepare for a career in resort. But they did not say attract the students on courses which do not have career. So the answer is not given. Okay, question number 38. Arson for profit course would be useful for people intending to set fire to buildings. Set fire to building means आग लगा देना, राइट? कोर्स है आग बुझाने वाला, उसमें ये भी बताते हैं आग लगानी कैसे है. Okay, so arson for profit course would be useful for people intending to set fire to buildings. Paragraph B. Paragraph B, and I'm reading it from 5th line. Yeah, my point is not to criticize the academic program in fire science. They are highly welcome as part of increasing professionalization of this and many other occupations. Last line. However, it is not unknown for a firefighter to torch a building. Firefighter to torch a building. Torch a building means building ko aag lagana. So firefighter also knows how to put a building on fire. And what is written here? Arson for profit, that is the course they are talking about, would be useful for people intending to set fire to buildings. Why? Because they said here, they said, however, it is not unknown for a firefighter to torch a building. This example suggests how dishonest and illegal behavior with the help of higher education and all that. So the course for firefighters, it also teaches how to set fire a building, torch a building. For torch a building, they use the word set fire to buildings. Please come to paragraph F. And just look for this detailed definition. If they gave a detailed definition of the purpose of their studies, answer is yes. If the definition was not detailed to the point, then it is no, otherwise not given. So please follow paragraph F. It is at this point that arson for profit becomes supremely relevant. The course is presumably all about means, how to detect. Come to the next line. When I asked fire science students, found it? When I asked fire science students to articulate the end or purpose of their field, they eventually generalized to something like the safety and welfare of society. Is this the detailed one? It is the generalized idea, right? Which seems right as we have and all that. Now what's the question? The writers, fire science students provided detailed definition. Now what is the definition? The definition is safety and welfare of society. Is this definition detailed? No. So the answer is no. All right. Questions 27 to 31. Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer? चले शुक्र है ऐसे आप भी मुकाने. Yes, no, not given. ठीक है, अब जरा तगड़े हो जाएं. We are doing section 3. अब दिमाग काम करना छोड़ देगा. कईयों का वैसे ही नहीं आज कर रहा. ठीक है, कुछ बनाना बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. I understand. दिमाग में कुछ नहीं जा रहा. But anyways, mark the locations where there is the answer when you go back home after iftar. जब मौत पड़ेगी तो then you can do this. Okay? नींद ना आ रही हो, IELTS का रीडिंग का एक टेस्ट सॉल्व करना शुरू करें. ऐसी पक्की नींद आएगी कि मैं कहता हूँ सुकून हो जाएगा. और अगर जल्दी सोना है तो सेक्शन 3 से स्टार्ट कीजिएगा. ठीक है? ये Alright. Question number 27. Doctors make decision. Now, first we read the title. Please, let's read the title. It's your choice or is it really? Now they say, it's your choice or is it really? Now let's see. As we move from the industrial age to the information age, societal demands on our mental capabilities are no less taxing. Means there are more demands on our minds, mental capabilities. Societal demands on our mental capabilities, no less taxing. So, doctors make decision according to the symptoms that a patient describes. Listen now, whenever you get yes, no, not given or true, false, not given, method is same. You got to convert it into if clause. For example, if doctors make decision, one part, according to the symptoms that patient describes. Patient says, doctor, I have got a headache. And the doctor is going to make a decision on that, then it is true. If doctors make decision on their own, not according to the symptoms the patient describes, they have their own finding. They check the patient, they test the reports and all that, and then they take it, then it is going to be no. And if they don't tell us how decisions are made, the point is doctor make decisions. If they don't tell us how decisions are made or whether doctor make decision according to the symptoms or according to something else, if this thing is not mentioned, then the answer is not given. This question is very confusing. Anyways, let's go back to first paragraph. We are constantly required to process a wide range of information to make decisions. Sometimes these decisions are trivial, such as what marmalade to buy. At other times, the stakes are higher, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor. All right, I got it now. Which symptoms to report to the doctor? That being a patient, we have to see ye doctor ko batana hai, ye nahi batana. Right? So they say here, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor. However, the fact that we are accustomed to processing blah, blah, blah. Now listen, very simple. They say, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor. We have to decide what to report to the doctor. But question is, doctors make decisions. They didn't mention anything about doctor making decision. They only say we have to decide which symptom we have to tell the doctor. अगर ज़्यादा बीमारियां बताऊंगा 2 टीके लगाएगा, अगर उससे ज़्यादा बताऊंगा ड्रिप भी लगाएगा. एंड यहाँ पे एक साहब गए डॉक्टर के पास, उसने इंजेक्शन लगाया, वो कहता है सही तरह ला, सुई पूरी अंदर पेज, आराम आए मैनू. So people are like that. उसको लगता है अगर इंजेक्शन छोटा है तो आराम नहीं आएगा. One of my cousins, he's a doctor. They've got a drip.
in a village he was there, and the doctor who doesn't give injection, he's not a doctor there. Tu kada doctor ne tika hi nahi landa, something like that. So what they did, they had the drip of the liquid, and they filled from there, and they said, now tika laga, aram aa gaya. Okay, so now doctors make decisions. Have they mentioned anything that doctors make decision? Not at all. So the answer is not given. Now even I understand it now. Last time I got confused with it. होता है, मेरा भी कभी कभार ना डाउन टाइम चल रहा होता है. Question number 28. Our ability to deal with a lot of input material has improved over time. Now look here. Ability to deal with input material. If that ability has improved over time, answer is yes. If that ability has not improved, it has gone down, then the answer is no. And if they don't tell us, then it is not given. Improved over time is important. Improved over time. Same paragraph. However, the fact that, got it? However, the fact that we are accustomed to processing large amounts of information does not mean that we are better at it. We are accustomed, but it does not mean that we are better at it. Our ability has improved? No, it has not improved. He says does not mean does not mean that we are better at it. Means the ability has not improved. So question number 28, answer is no. Clear? Question number 29. We tend to know when we have made an error of judgment. Now look here, very simple. We tend to know. Even if you don't know the meaning of tend ko kaat de. Just likhe wahan pe, we know when we have made an error of judgment. Error of judgment means like आप कहीं से जा रहे हैं, एकदम गिर गए, किसी के साथ टकरा गए, दरवाजा बंद था, आपने टक्कर मार दी उसको अंधेरे में, something like that. So he says we know when we make error of judgment. If we know when we make error of judgment, answer is yes. If we don't know when we make an error of judgment, we judge something and we make a mistake there. If we don't know, then it is no. And if they don't tell us whether we know or not, then it is not given. So let's go back. Wow. 3 answers in 1 paragraph. Yeah, very next line. Our sensory and cognitive systems have systematic way of failing, of which we are often perhaps blissfully unaware. We are unaware. We don't know. Unaware means we don't know. And there this says we tend to know. Tend to know and unaware, they are opposite words. Hence the answer is no. Very good. Question number 30. A legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. Legal trial could be significantly affected. Legal trial is in the court. A trial is going on and they say could be significantly affected. Legal trial, hearing of a case, can be affected by change blindness. Now we don't know what is change blindness. Let's look for change blindness. Very good. 3rd paragraph, and there we have change blindness. Okay. Yeah, change blindness is in the beginning. Now let's go for legal hearing, or they use the word legal trial. Legal trial. All right. Let's read it from the middle. However, 1, 2, 3, 4th last line. Found it? 4th last line. I'm reading it from here. 3rd paragraph, 4th last line. However, the identity of the burglar changed after the first half of the film, while the initial burglar was out of sight. Out of the 80 participants, 49, that is 61%, did not notice the change of burglar identity. They showed a movie, a clip. For example, CCTV camera footage. First the burglar was different. Burglar means nakab lagane wala, chor. First the burglar was different, and then they showed the same movie and they changed the burglar. So what happened? Burglar's identity, suggesting that change blindness may have serious implications on criminal procedures. Criminal procedure means legal trial. So change blindness may have serious implications for criminal proceedings. What's the question? A legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. Exactly. They changed the burglar and people did not even notice that. So a legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. I give you a very good example of change blindness. You know, in our childhood, we used to have two identical pictures, and then they say, okay, spot the difference. So that is what we call change blindness. In the first sight, they look the same. Then we realize, okay, the color is different, and this thing is different, and that thing is different. So it's all about that. Question number 31. Scientists have concluded that we try to take in as much detail as possible from our surrounding. Now underline as much detail as possible, and scientists have concluded. Now listen. If we try to take in as much detail as possible from our surrounding, for example, you entered the room, you looked at the paint, color, multimedia, camera, the color of the table, the color of the chair, floor, marble or wooden, and people around, what color shirt he's wearing and all that. So they say that scientists have concluded that we try to take in as much detail as possible from our surrounding. If we try to take as much detail as possible from our surrounding, answer is yes. If we try to take a little detail, otherwise we are not concerned, then it is no. And if they don't tell us, then not given. Now please come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th paragraph. Title page, 5th paragraph. Drawing from change blindness research, scientists. The clue word is scientist. Scientists have come to conclusion. Scientists have come to conclusion means scientists have concluded that we perceive the world in much less detail. We perceive the world in much less detail than previously thought. So, question is, take in as much detail. He says no. We perceive the world in much less detail than previously thought. So, this is the opposite thing. So, the answer is no. Very good. Question number 31. Answer is no. Got it? Okay. हाँ हुन रोज़ा लगना बनता है ना, रोज़ा लगना चाहिए. चलें कोई बात नहीं. आज मैं जामे शीरी के 2 ग्लास पीऊँगा. You know जब अब पकौड़े आज पकौड़े बनने ही नहीं. आज फ्रूट चाट बननी है. समझ नहीं, पकौड़े समोसे नहीं खाते, फ्रूट चाट और इस तरह की चीज़ें. आज जी नहीं, आज मैं किसी दस्तरखान पे जाऊँगा. रास्ते में कितने इफ्तार दस्तरखान होते हैं. हाँ. ओके. जब अपने इकट्ठे ही चलते हैं. कहाँ पे चले? यहाँ बैरिया का दस्तरखान भी तो है. Okay, questions 27 to 31. Do the following. No, it's done. Question. देखा मत मारी गई वाकई. Questions 32 to 36. मैंने कहा था ना मेरा भी टाइम आता है, और मेरा टाइम शुरू हो गया. हाँ, जामे शीरी याद आ रहे. रोज़ा रख के ना. Okay, questions 32 to 36. Complete the table below. Okay, fine. Now this table completion is going to be easier for you. Choose no more than 2 words from the text for each answer. Experiment in change blindness. So all questions are related to change blindness. All the experiments they did on that. Okay. Now let's see. There are parts in there: researchers, purpose, situation, focus, and percentage. Got it? There is no question in percentage, by the way, but 46.6 is a wonderful clue. Find it in the passage. 2 things: Simon, 1998, and 46%. Very good. Listen now, where you find Simon, Simon se lekar 46.6%, it means answer is going to come in that bracket. Clear? Answer is going to be in that bracket, and there are 3 answers, by the way. Which paragraph is it? 2nd paragraph. Okay. All right, 2nd paragraph. Now let's read the question. Please come to question. To illustrate change blindness, caused by a dash such as an object. Change blindness caused by a dash means the reason of change blindness such as an object. So let's go back. Will you please come to this third paragraph, over the past decade? Found it? Third paragraph. Over the past decade, no. It's above. Okay, let's go above. 46.6%. It means we need to read after that even. Okay, I'm reading it from this phenomenon. Third last line. Second paragraph, third last line. This phenomenon has been termed change blindness and refers to the difficulty that observers have in noticing changes to visual scenes. Right? Now, what is the reason of that? We are going to find the reason. For example, the person swap. When the change are accompanied by some other visual disturbances, for example, the passing of the door. So let's come back. Yes, to illustrate change blindness caused by a, okay, very good. Such as an object. What is the word for object? Door. Door is for object. Wow. Yeah, that's good. So they say here, when changes are accompanied by some of other visual disturbance, that is our answer. For example, they used all right. Listen, for e.g. they have used such as. For door, they have used an object. And the answer is visual disturbance. Visual disturbance. Got it? Now, we move on to question number 33. Giving dash to a stranger. Stranger means any passerby or anyone. Giving dash to a stranger. Situation for participants. Come back to same paragraph. I'm sorry, you have to come to second paragraph, first line. They are not in order. Imagine that you are taking a walk in your local city park when a tourist is the word for stranger. When a tourist approaches you asking for directions. Asking for directions means giving. Situation for participants, giving directions to stranger. Now, I can tell you why giving directions. Let's read on. Asking for directions. During the conversation, two men carrying a door pass between the two of you. If the person asking for direction has changed places, so it's actually giving, yeah, directions will be the answer. Exactly. Directions. Question number 34. Focus of participants' attention. The movement of dash. Movement of something. Very simple. They were moving something. Go back to the same paragraph. Movement of. Carrying the door. Exactly. Carrying the door, would you notice, and all that. So movement of the door. Answer is door. D-O-O-R, door. No, listen, as I mentioned, no need to write article. So just write door as the right answer. Okay, let's go on. Davis and Hine 2007. Find it? You found it? Okay, third paragraph. Now we read the question. To assess the impact of change blindness on dash by eyewitnesses. To assess the impact of change blindness on dash. Change blindness on something. Question number 35. Question number 35. To assess the impact of change blindness on dash by eyewitnesses. So let's come back. Over the past decade, found it? Third paragraph. Over the past decade, the change blindness phenomenon has been replicated many times. Especially noteworthy is an experiment by Davis and Hine 2007, who studied whether change blindness affects eyewitness identification. Eyewitnesses identification. So that's the question. To assess the impact of change blindness on identification by eyewitnesses. Now for by, they simply said eyewitnesses identification. Just a second. Yeah. Now we move on to question number 36. The collection of dash, very simple, collection of something. Go back to same paragraph, collection of dash. You'll need to read on even the second last paragraph. Collection of dash. Please come to second last paragraph. To most of us, found it? Okay, to most of us it seems bizarre that people could miss such obvious. Now keep in mind collection of something. Collection of obvious changes while they are paying active attention. However, to catch those changes, attention must be targeted to the changing feature. In the study described above, participants were likely not to have been expecting the change to happen, and so their attention may have been focused on the valuables the burglar was stealing rather than the burglar. Now, valuables the burglar was stealing. The collection of valuables. For collection of, they use the word burglar was stealing. Right? Collection of valuables. You are doing academic reading and this is part 3. अभी भी दिमाग खराब नहीं होगा तो कब होगा? Okay. Which two statements are true? Now it's not true, false, not given. It means which two statements are correct for both the supermarket and voice experiment. Now listen, go back to the passage, underline the word supermarket and voice experiments. Supermarkets and voice experiments. Second page of the passage, first paragraph, the word supermarket is there. And voice experiment is in the very next paragraph. Clear? Underline supermarket and voice experiment. Got it, everyone? The second page of the passage, first paragraph, there is the word supermarket in third line. And the word voice experiment, that is there in third last paragraph. Mil gaya sabko? Okay, now we are going to skim read. Please come to supermarket. I'm reading it from second line. To examine choice blindness, Hall and colleagues, 2010. Found it? Everyone? 2010, okay? Invited supermarket customers to sample 2 different kinds of jams and teas. After participants had tasted or smelled both samples, they indicated which one they preferred. Subsequently, they were purportedly given another sample of their preferred choice. On half of the trials, however, these were samples of the non-chosen jam or tea. Now first they gave them the jam and tea, then they gave them a non-chosen one. As expected, only about 1/3 of the participants detected this manipulation. First they gave them a different jam. After that they said, okay sir, try this again. But that was a different one. They said, yeah, this is better. Now go back and find something. On half of the trials, however, these were samples of the non-chosen jam or tea. A, B, C, D. E is percentage results were surprisingly low. Not at all. Surprisingly low is not mentioned. A is researchers focused on non-visual material. No. Absolutely. It's C. Some of the choices made by participants were altered. They made a choice and they changed it. Now please come back. On half of the trials, however, these were samples of non-chosen jam or tea. Non-chosen means they altered their choices. I mean, you choose one thing and then next time then say, okay sir, you chose this one, but that was different one. And people did not even realize. Okay. So the correct answer is C over here. Now we go to voice experiment. Please come to voice experiment. Next paragraph. Found it? Recently, the phenomenon has also been replicated for choices involving auditory stimuli. I'm reading from next. Specifically, participants had to listen to 3 pairs of voices and decide for each pair which voice they found more sympathetic or more criminal. Understand? right? 3 pairs of voices. Which voice was more sympathetic, means dard bhari आवाज, and more criminal, मैं तुम्हें मार डालूंगा, something like that, okay? Criminal voice. The voice was then presented again, however, the outcome was manipulated for the second voice pair, and participants were presented with the non-chosen voice. Now let's go back. They were given 3 pairs of voices and all that. Oh gosh. Very, very simple. Voice is a non-visual material. Voice is a non-visual. Non-visual means it is verbal. And what is visual? Pictures. Right? So the researchers focused on non-visual material. That is option A. And what is non-visual material? Voices. And for that they use the word 3 pairs of voices. Okay? No. Questions 39 to 40. साढ़े नालों काले थे साढ़े नाल वाले ने बाकी यासीन किधर है सोया हुआ है जाग रहे हैं अच्छा जी choose 2 letters A to E. Which 2 statements are true for the psychology experiment? Underline psychology experiment. Conducted by ना मैं नहीं पढ़ सकता. Okay? There are 3 people. Don't try to read the names even. Yeah? That's what they say, Punjabi nu khasma nu khane mar jane. Yeah. So let's see. Psychology experiment. Which paragraph? Second last. Let's read it from there. Naam ko chhod ke. Investigated choice blindness for intensity ratings of one's own psychological symptoms. Their participants had to rate the frequency with which they experienced 90 common symptoms. Underline 90 common symptoms. Okay. For example, anxiety, lack of concentration, stress, and headaches on a 5-point scale. Now, what they had to do? They had to see how many symptoms? 90 common symptoms, and then they had to give them on a scale of 1 to 5 means 5 is maximum, 1 is minimum. So let's see. Please come back. Oh, that's very simple. Option B, very good. The participants gave each symptom a 1 to 5 rating. For rating, they use the word scale is the word for rating. Exactly. So B is the first correct answer. Let's go on. After full stop. I'm reading it from 4th line. Prior to a follow-up interview, the researchers inflated ratings for 2 symptoms by 2 points. Okay. For example, when participants had rated their feelings of shyness as 2, that is occasionally, it has changed to 4, that is all the time. Now, please read from here. This time, more than half, 57% of the 28 participants were blind to the symptom rating escalation and accepted it as their own symptom intensity rating. 57%, and they were blind to this situation. Come back. Now just focus what options are wrong and you will reach the right one. Option A, participants had to select their most common symptoms. No. Option C, shyness proved to be most high. No. Option D, participants changed their mind about some of their ratings. No. Rating thing is gone before. Now we are left with option E. Researchers focused on the strength and regularity of symptoms. Please come back. Strength, yes, occasionally and all the time. Very good, excellent. You found the point. Well done. Occasionally and all the time. So occasionally is, what is strength and what is regularity? All the time is regularity? No, occasionally is, no, it's different, it's different. Just focus this thing. All the time and occasionally, right? So for occasionally and all the time, they used strength and regularity of symptoms. Occasionally can be regularity and all the time is strength. Yes, that's right. Good.
For example, when participants had rated their feelings of shyness as.
But actually, you know, when we talk about strength and regularity, it's that point. It isn't that. आप कौन सा point कह रहे हैं?
मैं कह रहा हूँ C होना चाहिए, shyness proved to be most.
No, listen. Just focus. Most highly rated symptom, not mentioned at all. Most highly rated symptom.
Sir, ये पीछे पड़े, for example, when participant